Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. Join me in my Mark 7 Golf R to talk about why everyone is selling their Golf R. So a bit of a series I've been running, so check out the playlist above. And essentially the idea is that every week I'm checking kind of like the valuation of this car using We Buy Any Car, just to give you an idea of what's happening in the market, because it's absolutely fascinating. I never think something like this will ever happen again, so really, yeah, it's really cool stuff. I also go through all of your comments that you have from each video in the next video, so I kind of run through that, share my thoughts on them, and hopefully share some useful information to you. So let's get straight into this. So yes, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone is all well. So let's get straight into this one then. So I did another valuation on the car because I was kind of like, has it changed? Has it gone down? Has it gone up? You know, what's the market kind of saying around here? And I have spoken to so many people as well, and it's been fantastic. And a lot of what I've been saying is kind of hold out a little bit longer. If you haven't tuned into any of these videos before, to give you a summary, essentially from a mixture of new cars being quite hard to make and get hold of at the moment, you know, the demand is quite high. People are sort of starting to get back together with their normal things. New cars being very, very expensive, and a variety of things, but it's generally down to supply and demand. People want cars, that's kind of it, particularly in the used market. That's the idea. It's not something that just affects the Golf R. You know, I do talk about stuff like the GTI on this channel. It's exactly the same. You know, that is just where it is. These cars are all fantastic, so I talk about them, and it's great news. So where is my car at? So to give you a summary, I did a bit of evaluation just at the start of this whole series, and the car was valued at £19,500. My car is a 2017 manual 3-door Mark 7 Golf R with 32,000 miles. I'm the only owner. I got it as an ex-demonstrator, so I suppose it could say it's had one previous owner. And when I first did the check, it said £19,500, which frankly I thought was really, really high. Since then, as the week's gone on, it's kind of been chirping up, and yeah, as of last week, it was showing as £20,425, which is crazy. You know, cars, everyday usable cars like Golfs shouldn't necessarily do that. And looking on like the Golf R forum, some people have been selling it to a point where I've seen more sold than bought. I think people are taking advantage of it because ultimately you would expect the market to correct itself. You would expect that, but you know, who knows in this world? Who knows? So let's get into my valuation. So what do you think in the comments? Do you reckon it's gone up? Do you reckon it's gone down? Or do you reckon it's gone the same? Now, before I did this check, I sort of said to myself, I was like, I bet it stays the same. I bet it stays the same. It's only been a week. I don't think it would have gone down. I don't think it would have gone up. I reckon they're going to give me the same. That's what I think. But let me know what you think as well. As you can see here on screen, I did this today. Today is Sunday, the 20th of June. This video will come out on the 21st of June, Monday for you guys. So I generally do videos quite up to date. So, you know, you get the most useful information, up-to-date information you possibly can, just in the nature of how I can do the videos. And the price I got back from We Buy Any Car, exactly the same. £20,425, as you can see on screen. That was done just a few minutes ago. So it stayed the same, and that's technically a good thing because it means, you know, I've had the car for another week and I've owned it for another week. I've done things with it. You know, I drove to Coventry this week as well for a 10k race. Yeah, all these things have kind of happened and the car hasn't lost any money. Now, does any of this affect me actually wanting to sell the car? You know, the whole title says everyone's selling their Golf R. Am I going to sell my Golf R? It massively does depend on every individual, but for me, no, is the answer. I love the car. It ticks so many boxes for me, even outside of what I share with you guys on the YouTube channel. I personally feel it's a car worth holding. I'll be honest, I do have my price cap, if that makes sense. If it got up to a certain level, I'd probably be stupid not to sell, and I'd probably have to sell it, and I'd probably then want to buy a Golf R again. So that's probably what I'd do. Maybe wait a bit and get a Golf 8R. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, fundamentally for me, I do actually need a car. So if I sold this, I'd need to buy a car. The premium that dealers and manufacturers put on their cars means that you end up paying a little bit more anyway. And the market is hot at the moment, so all cars are kind of worth a little bit more. You don't know what that car's like. This car is bulletproof. I've looked after it so much. I've documented it so well. And, you know, I take plenty of care of it. I'm not saying other people don't, but some cars, they might have had a bit of a bad life and you don't necessarily see that, and you can get caught out within your ownership. So all these things combined, plus the community, that was one of the reasons before I even got the car, and even before I started the YouTube channel, I was like, I like cars for community. I was looking at like the Focus RS and I was looking at Golf Rs, And both have. Fast Forward fans are great. Golf R fans, I think, are great. I love them. I see these cars all the time, and you know, I can't think of another car that I'd want to own, so why'd I want to sell it? But that's where I'm at anyway. Now, I think it's really interesting to go through some of your comments from last week's video, part 3. We're on part 4 today, if you hadn't, if I hadn't mentioned that before. So let's go through some of these comments, shall we? So the first comment here says, depreciation turning into appreciation. The market speaks. Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely bizarre, isn't it? I mean, yes, you can get it some, like, for example, a Club Sport S, in the Mark 7, only made 150 of those, or 150 came to the UK, 400 worldwide. And proper limited run, particularly if you garaged them and didn't do any miles, it's a car that appreciates in value. A very, very rare car, despite the fact that it doesn't even have any back seats. And a car that I'm fascinated about, and I'll always keep an eye on that as well, particularly on Auto Trader and places like that. But that's kind of to the extreme. Normal Golfs, normal cars should depreciate. That's just the way things are, particularly if you drive them. You know, I've driven 32,000 miles in this car. You know, it hasn't just sat here doing nothing. But somehow it hasn't lost that much money, which is bizarre. I don't understand it. I don't understand how it's been appreciating in the last couple of months as it has done. But that's kind of why I'm sharing this with you all. And if you don't kind of believe it, please check back on some of my other videos and see how other people are getting on. That's probably the best way to do it. It is generally happening right now. So someone said here, they offered me £31,755 for my 70-plate Golf R estate with 950 miles from new, which is reasonable as it's 12 months old in September. Thanks for the info, Sam. So thank you so much for your comment and for the comment previous to that as well. So big fan of the Golf R estate. I mean, it's got it all. Personally, I think the space in this car is great. I think the boxness of the Golf R is fantastic. I do prefer the looks of the hatch. But yeah, it was that sort of do everything car. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, that's strong money. Fair enough, the car hasn't done that many miles, but yeah, that's a good thing to have. And you know, if you want to change car, or if you have a different change in circumstances, it's quite nice that you can get out of something and not lose any. It doesn't sound like this owner's looking to sell, and I don't blame them personally either, because as I've kind of said before, if a car is worth nearly 32 grand today, it's still going to be worth quite a lot of money in a year's time. You know, the market's not just going to completely fall apart. People need cars. Cars are a value to people. Golfs are desirable and they work. So they save you money in sort of like the fact that generally, touch wood, nothing goes wrong. So there's a lot of advantages to it, and that's why people keep coming back to them. Thank you so much for the comment there. So someone says here, just sold my Mark 7 Lepiz R manual, 56,000 miles, 15 plate, £16,100, £15,900 received. Very easy and very good experience. Recommended if you look after your car, better than private hassle. They originally got offered £16,100, but they took home £15,900, obviously getting haggled down and stuff like that. And again, completely agree with this person. The lack of hassle from a private sale is great, and that is a value in itself. You know, time is very short. You know, you've got to enjoy your stuff, enjoy yourself. And it's comments like that which even more kind of makes me want to hang on to my car. You know, it's a couple of years newer than that. It's done quite a few less miles than that. As long as there's cars being sold, it always gives an idea of what this current car is worth. I don't think it's going to fall off the cliff, put it that way. But really good feedback there of how it can be done and how it works. I hope that person does get back into a Golf R, or you know, their next car is just as enjoyable. That's the main thing, because it's not just about the money. You know, this is a bit of a channel for car enthusiasts as well as normal people. It's bringing the community together, as I've kind of said. Like, share, subscribe. It really does help this channel. And actually, on that note, I did surpass 1 million views actually on YouTube the other day. So a huge thank you to everyone who supports this channel. Absolutely massive. Sort of coming up to, I think right now, about 2,100 subscribers as well. So yeah, fantastic. I'll keep sharing the content with you. You know, all you have to do is just basically like, share and subscribe and watch it, and hopefully you all enjoy it and find it useful. That's the idea. Thanks so much for the comment there, and a really good idea hopefully for everyone else to see. Now, a comment here from another YouTuber who also does a few videos on sort of like the Porsches. He owns a Porsche 992 and he has a YouTube channel as well. So yeah, check that out. Check out the comments of this one, and you can check out his YouTube channel if you would like to. I revalued my Porsche 992 at WeBack again, and they're now offering me more than what I paid new just over a year ago. Thinking I should book it in to them to look at, just to see how much they're going to knock me down after seeing it. We did then go back and forth and sort of spoke about it. Now I know this isn't a Golf R, but again, this is affecting all cars, and one of the reasons why I like Porsches as well is because residually and long term they're very, very good. 992s are fantastic cars, and it does not surprise me that you're offered more than you originally paid for it. So fantastic for that person there. I don't think they will sell. I think that car's too good, to be honest. I mean, I'm actually, oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm driving a 992 Turbo S. Forgot about that. In a couple of weeks time, Porsche experience, so I'll be able to share my first drive review lot, and yeah, super looking forward to that. I mean, that's a £165,000 car, so really looking forward to that. And yeah, Porsche's residuals are always good, so in this kind of crazy market, it does not surprise me that it's going up, and you will get takers for those kind of cars. It's just the way things is. The same philosophy is there, in fact, in even more of a stronger way, because obviously there's less Porsche 992s out than there are Golfs. So yeah, win-win, and fantastic news to that person there. So thank you so much for commenting. This person said, same situation with my 6-month-old M240i. The dealer I bought it from offered over £2,000 more than they sold it to me for a couple of months ago. Perfect opportunity to upgrade or make some quick money. So yeah, again, saying it's the same thing with BMW M240. These type performance type cars, great car. I used to see them quite a lot when I used to commute into London, obviously still in coronavirus time, so I'm not doing that as much. And it's, yeah, I love those cars. I think they're great. You know, you still get that 6-cylinder sound. It's crazy quick, particularly with the ZF gearbox that they've got in them. And yeah, people want them. All these cars, taking that Porsche 992 aside, around the £20,000 mark, and because of that they are affordable for a lot of people, whether they get it on finance or whether they can buy it on cash, however you kind of go about it. So if there's a demand coming in, they don't make the M240 anymore. I've seen the new 2 Series. I don't like the look of it at all. I think it looks weird. I think they're trying to make it look like the new A3 saloon, you know, and then why don't you just go for that? So it's a weird one. And even the new M2, it's sort of like, I'm not too sure. That's in a couple of years. 2023, I think that comes out. So yeah, it's happening for all cars. It doesn't surprise me, and it's just another example of what's happening in the market. So thank you so much for the comment there. To give you figures, Sam, this is from another person. WeBack offered me £18,200. I sold my R for £17,900 to them. 16 reg, 40k miles. I originally bought the R for £19,000 2 years ago. As mentioned in the other video, I bought a 19 plate S3. I got £2,600 off the list price and some other incentives. You can get a good deal if you shop about, and like anything, a bit of luck at the right time, right place, the right dealer. Audi was selling my S3 shape off as to make room for the new shape. When I sold my R, I asked where it was going, and the WeBack employee said straight to be sold. As soon as I signed to accept their offer, it was loaded straight onto a Cinch branded car transporter. Yeah, and that's one thing to say as well. Timing is everything. Timing is everything in life. Just you know, you've got to be at the right place at the right time, and some of that is luck, but you've got to make your own luck as well. In terms of what they actually did to buy a car, sometimes it's quite clever to do that. You can get a car just as the demand isn't there for it. Not many people are going to be looking at the old shape S3. They're going to be thinking, oh, the new shape S3, which is great. So that means you can get quite a big discount. I bought this car, everyone was looking at a 7.5 facelift. This is one of the last ones made in Mark 7 guys. And as a result, I was able to get a pretty ridiculous deal. You know, I only paid just under £25,000 4 years ago for a car that was practically brand new with just over 1,000 miles. Same sort of logic applies for this person, and that seems like a really good offer as well. So, you know, fantastic news, and thank you so much for sharing that. And I would encourage people to check the comments on a lot of my videos, particularly these ones with this series that I'm doing, and in the playlist. You know, knowledge is power, so learn from it, and hopefully it helps you out. A message here: WeBack is interesting to track over a couple of weeks for an experiment. Placed my up GTI with the site valued at £10,500. 5 days later, 10,800, then 11,150, then 11,500. Yesterday, 11,860. Soon these dealers are going to get caught out, as they have higher value stock and ramping up used forecourt prices. Yeah, great little example. Up GTI, I think that's an absolute win-win of a car. It's a good money. They're not really expensive. I have spent a bit of time in an Up before. Personally, for me, I didn't necessarily like it because I just felt it was a little bit too small, not so great on motorways. The Up GTI though is that little city fun car, and a car that's probably never going to lose money is a great thing to have. And another great example there, so thank you so much for that. So here we go. So Sam, here in Ireland, I get a lot of comments from Ireland actually, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm kind of forces you to look at my videos, or you just enjoy my content, but thank you so much for any Irish subscribers out there. Yeah, so Sam here in Ireland, a 15 reg Golf R with 150,000 kilometers is fetching upwards of 25k. My car is worth more than I paid for it. And smiley laughing face. Yeah, a lot of people are kind of saying that, and I know that there's different sort of like tax regulations in different areas as well, which makes it difficult to get a new car, which means used cars are going through the roof. So yeah, fantastic. It's just another example, and great news there, so thank you so much for that comment. So this person said, looking to get an R, but it's a bit pricey for me at the moment. DSG versions, think I'll have to stick with my Mark 5 GTI for a bit longer. Yeah, I agree. I think Mark 5 GTI is probably not a bad place to stick with, to be honest. They're fantastic cars. They're not going to lose that much money. They still work, they still do everything. Wait until the timing is right for you. And for me, it's always getting that balance right. Like if I look at myself and say, oh, I really want a Golf 8R, it doesn't matter that I sell this car for £20,425. Let's say WeBack didn't knock anything off. If that car's selling, well, I did a video yesterday, you can get a finance deal for £64,000. So check out that video above. It doesn't matter because the difference is not there. You're better off in 2 years' time when a Golf 8R is coming down a little bit. This car's might have gone down a little bit, but not as much as that car. And then suddenly the difference is not so much. So rather than having a £20,000 difference right now, I might be able to get into it at a £10,000 difference. Who knows? That's my logic. So if you have to wait and hold, wait and hold. It's just important that it's the right time for you. And actually waiting it out is sometimes the more, you know, take time in making your decisions. That's what I'll say. I don't want any of these videos to be sort of like, oh my God, rush out, sell my car. You know, definitely don't. Think these things through. And on top of that, I still predict you've got months of this going on. I've said till August. Let's see if I'm right. If I keep doing these videos up till August, then I probably will be, because I'll stop as soon as they start falling back down or massively fall down. I may end the series, depending on how much you guys have enjoyed it. Next comment, so £20,000 seems like a good price for the car. How much did you pay for it? So that's my car. I paid £24,950 for the car. I bought it from VW up north, and it had done 1,300 miles. It was 3 months old. It was an ex-demo, and yeah, never looked back. They're brilliant. Love it. Motorway valued my 2016 Golf R at £22,695. There's only 13,500 miles on the odometer. Now, I did have a little chat back and forth with this person, and I think they were hoping to get a little bit more for that because of the options they had. It was very well spec'd with pan roof, dyno audio, and it had done obviously low miles as well. Personally, for me, I don't think that's the worst offer in the world. Again, I would probably say if you held out, it's probably going to go up a little bit. But again, it's got to make sense for you. If you're not happy with the offer, just ignore it and enjoy your car. As long as you can afford the ownership of the car long term, that's all that matters. That's what I felt like when I got this car. It didn't really matter how much money it lost really to me. It didn't necessarily matter to me because I had that long-term ownership prospect in mind. You know, I liked the car, I wanted the car, and I didn't necessarily have the need to sell it. So that sort of didn't really matter too much. So you just got to do what's right for you, really. Thanks so much for the comment there. Last two comments here. You can get some for near £15,000 on Auto Trader, correct? You can get some sort of old high miler ones, yeah, for around £15,000. I personally think it's great value for a Mark 7 if it's well looked after. Great car to get there. Someone here from the US has asked what the price is on like Facebook Marketplace or private sale. I read that the Golf R is the most stolen car in the UK. So just to sort of end a little bit on that, prices, yeah, through the roof. I've sort of gone through what the market is kind of like and how private sales are just as high as well. You know, it's just a knock-on effect. If dealers sell high prices, private sales will go up as well. So the whole market is high. Is it a highly stolen car? Partly because there's so many out there, and obviously 300 brake horsepower, four-wheel drive, they're quite good for thieves to then steal things. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But I wouldn't let that put you off. Just, you know, keep it hidden, keep it secure, and you'll be good to go. But listen, thank you so much for those comments. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll keep this series going as well. Every week, every Monday, I'm going to try and keep it going. Thank you so much for the support on it. I hope you found this useful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, most importantly, and I'll go through them next week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Keep safe and well, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.